Secrets of the memory used in vehicle computer modules. Well, what are we going to teach you? What are you going to learn in this course? Well, first we're going to start with a diagram of a computer. Kind of computer that you would find in a vehicle module. We'll go through all of the pieces so that you understand what those do. And we'll cover the different kinds of memory, the program memory, the data memory, RAM, and things like that. Then we'll go into a little bit more advanced diagram of that computer. And then we're going to move on to a simulation box that we created. Basically, the purpose of this is to allow you to understand the fundamentals of bits and bytes, combinations, all of those things that are necessary in order for you to really understand how a memory part works. Then we're also going to throw in a little extra thing here called logic levels, so you understand as in a computer, logic levels, ones and zeros, are represented by voltages, and we're going to show you how that works. And we're going to move on to an explanation of decimal and hexadecimal and what those are and how they're created and how they're stored. Then we're going to move on, as I said, to combinations. Then we're going to go back into history. And we're going to start with the first kind of memory that was what was called non-volatile, which was EEPROMs, erasable programmable read-only memory, but not EEPROMs. We're going to talk about those and how they progressed over time. Then we're going to not move on to, but also talk about core memory, which actually preceded EEPROM memory. Then we're going to talk about how the EEPROM memory works down at the memory cell level, and during that discussion, we're going to talk about flash memory, we're going to talk about EEPROM memory. Then we're going to move into some physical aspects. We've got an actual EEPROM part, and we're going to talk about what are how the data in an EEPROM is addressed, using what are called addresses in data. Then we're going to talk about the pins on an EEPROM or EEPROM, what they do. Then we're going to show you an actual demonstration of our a little demonstration board that we made. This is not the simulator, this is a board. And we're going to put an actual part in it, and we're going to read the part and send data to the part, and you'll see how that works. We're going to talk about the addresses, which we described previously, and how data is stored at an address. Then we're going to use a programmer, and it will be the EEPROM Plus programmer. And we're going to show you how the data looks on the screen and what it means. Then we're going to talk about binary and binary counting. Then we're going to actually build a serial EEPROM using the previous EEPROM that we used in the demonstration. So you understand how a serial EEPROM works. We show you the internal diagram of a serial EEPROM. And then we move on to the actual EEPROM families, where we're going to teach you about the families and their order, the 93 family, the 24 family, which is the I2C family, and we're also going to show you the next family, which was the 2595 family. Following that, we're going to show you packages, teach you how to find and recognize the different packages on an assembly, from the standard from a DIP part through an SOIC, small unintegrated circuit, all the way down to the teeny-weeny MSOP parts. Then we're going to look at a data sheet, and we'll explain to you what the data sheet means. You might not necessarily feel like you might use that in your work, but the more you know, the better equipped you'll be to do your job, understand how these parts actually work. Then we're going to talk about something which everybody is afraid of, and that is data corruption. We're going to show you how data corruption happens. We're going to use a SOB sim module, and we're actually going to corrupt the data in it, and then we're going to replace it. We are then going to move on and talk about 8-bit and 16-bit, because there's typically always confusion about which parts are 16-bit, which parts are 8-bit, and how do you tell the difference. So we're going to show you that. As I said, we're going to cover, we covered the SPI family. We're going to cover some bastard parts. There were some parts that were created which did not have a long useful life, but you will encounter them in vehicle modules, and we'll show you those and show you how to identify those. Then we're going to talk about a specific feature of the 9525 family of part called block protect bits, where you can read them but you can't program them, and how to use. We'll show you how with our product to enable programming by turning those block protect bits off. Then we're going to talk about how to identify the parts. Basically, we're going to go into the part number fragments, how to tell what an EEPROM actually is, so you can pick the part number. And then the last thing we're going to cover is the suggested voltages for programming these parts in circuit. That's a summary of what you're going to learn, what we're going to cover in this course. I've summarized it pretty quickly, but it's a 4-hour course. So if you choose to purchase, it's available in the links, if you follow the links in the description.